So what are the use cases in our token economy? And there's a couple of points I think that are helpful here. The first is that there, at least in my mind, is a logical sequence of foundational projects moving into optimization of the world as it is, and then moving into new revenue and new disruptions and reinvention of markets. But also the second idea, I think, is there is a commonality, whatever industry you start in. And these industries come together over time. So if we think of that commonality, I think the first tokens that you need to be creating are to do with identity and to do with provenance. That is around certainty of who I'm dealing with, be that identity of a person, a company, or a thing, be that identity which is regulated by way of KYC, AML, or identity which is built pseudo-anonymously by reputation. Then we need to move into tokenization of what we are buying and what we are selling, the provenance and the digitization of exactly what am I buying and what has happened to this asset over its life cycle and who has done these things to this asset over its life cycle. Once we have these two foundational capabilities in place, and by the way, there is a ton of optimization benefits that can be achieved here as we shave off the edges of friction in the world as it is and create a more efficient version of today's economy. But then we now have the foundation pieces to create disruption in markets as we start saying, well, holy smokes, I could create new types of asset as perhaps I fractionalize assets up into smaller pieces, or perhaps as I get more innovative in terms of what I do tokenize and what I do trade. And this is where we start moving into marketplaces and where we start moving into reinvention of industries. And this, I think, is where the third type of token in our token taxonomy becomes really interesting, which is the tokenization of incentives and the tokenization of the industry protocol itself as a form of decentralized equity. This therefore represents the token economy roadmap as I see it in my mind.